Hey, hi, this is Thomas Abraham here from Zeeve.
Hey, welcome, Thomas. Good. I think we're all set here, right on time, top of the hour. Let's get at it here. Welcome, Superledger Podcast, episode 65. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And joining us here today is Thomas from Zeeve. We're here to discuss the Rollup and Appchain Day that's coming up, and I'm pretty excited to learn more about that. Before we get started, today's sponsors, Quorum Community DAO, community hub and validator serving the Web3 space, and also powered by Zeeve's infrastructure, coincidentally. You can learn more about that at the myweb3.me links in Articulate and my bio, or go to quorumcommunitydao.com. So with that, Thomas, welcome, Articulate. Thank you for co-hosting again. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for inviting me here today.
Excellent. And Articulate, you're doing well today?
Yes, thank you. Doing well. Looking forward to the discussion and happy to be partnering with Zeeve once more for the Rollup with ETH Denver and the Appchain Day coming up. So, yeah, glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, Zeeve's a community partner of Quorum Concepts, one of my earliest partners when I started my YouTube channel, and also partners with Quorum Community DAO. And pleased to have them here today to talk about what they have.
Avalanche, Cosmos SDK, parachains, and what have you. And we have about 50 plus mainnets running at this point in time that we run and manage and monitor, and over 300 testnets across various stacks. We're very excited, to be here today to talk about our Rollup and Appchain Day that is coming up on the 28th of February at ETH Denver.
Excellent. Well, that's why I was very pleased and excited to be a partner of Zeeve early on, because I've always looked at them as leaders in this space, always ahead of everything. Obviously, when you're providing infrastructure for a lot of these systems, it's obviously important to be ahead of the pulse. So I've always trusted Zeeve to kind of keep me ahead of the curve there, and you guys have done a great job. So that's great. Let's get into the Rollup and Appchain Day. First of all, could you just tell us when it is?
Yeah, this is on the 28th of February at Denver, on the sidelines of ETH Denver, and this is going to be at the Hilton City Center. And it's going to be from 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Yeah, and so, we're going to start with some networking and lunch at 11, and then we're going to have a series of keynotes, sessions, panel discussions, fireside chats, and follow with more networking, after 3 o'clock. So, that's really what's been planned out.
Excellent. And so, as a participant or an attendee, what's your day look like when you attend the Appchain Day, Rollup and Appchain Day?
Yeah, I think just as a little bit of a background, Chris, this is our third edition of this event. Our first edition was at Token 2049 in Singapore way back in September of 2024, that was the first time we were doing it. And, we've been learning each time and improving in terms of what the expectations of the users are. So we had Stephen Goldfeder, who's the CEO and co-founder of Arbitrum, as a keynote speaker at the Appchain, at the Rollup Day at Token 2049. And then we had the second edition at DevCon in Bangkok, which was in November of 2024 last year. And there we had two keynote speakers. We had, Ed Felton, who's the co-founder of Arbitrum, as well as Mark Boyron, who's the CEO of Polygon, right? So they were the keynote speakers. And so we've sort of fine-tuned we keep fine-tuning the entire program for the day to make sure that it's of high impact for projects who are looking to understand more about rollups and app chains and perhaps looking to take some positions on stacks. So our target audience is basically, we would be targeting about 150 people to attend the event. And these would mostly be founders and builders who are looking to set up custom chains, predominantly rollups and Appchains. So, that's the, so all the content is really targeting them, and we'll be trying to see how we could add value to them and how we could evangelize this entire concept of rollups and Appchains to them.
Awesome. And so who would be your keynote speaker and some guests this year's panel?
Yeah, so this year, Chris, just to give you an idea, we used to call it the Rollup Day, when the first two editions. We've expanded the scope and now we call it the Rollup and Appchain Day. And this year, Avalanche has come on board as a co-host, right? They've just, renamed they've just launched the Avalanche L1, which is at a terrific price point and highly affordable and easy to implement. And, we are one of the prime partners for Avalanche for actually implementing, L1 chains. So we're going to have a keynote speaker from Avalanche. One of their C-suite, leaders will be there. We have, Vasilis, who's part of the C-suite at, ZK Sync, who's going to be the second keynote, and we're just finalizing the third keynote speaker as well. It will be the co-founder of one of the major protocols. Yeah. That apart, what we also do, and we've seen that it works really well, is that we have standardized 2 panel discussions at each of these events. The first is a panel which is focusing on customer use cases. So what we do is we bring about 4 to 5 of our customers on stage, along with one of my colleagues, and we run a panel which is a Shark Tank style panel, focused, which is 20 minutes, very, very sharp and incisive. And it's a blend of our customers, who are there, and so this time we're going to have customers like Remedy, one of our subnets. We're going to have, Octo, which is setting up a Polygon CDK chain, and we're finalizing 2 more, customers there. The other panel discussion, which is very exciting and always very entertaining, is typically one that we have for, BD leaders from the various protocols, right? So these 2 are fixed panels that we have, and they've been very popular. And they add a lot of value to the audience. So, so these are some of the panels and some of the speakers that we sort of finalized already. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I've been watching Zeeve's discussion with Avalanche and your latest product there for launching an L1 looks impressive. So eager to learn more about that at the event. Sounds good. As far as enterprises and Web3 startups, what would they benefit from attending these sessions?
Yeah, I think, what's now happening is that Web3 startups and enterprises are wanting to take a decision on what stack to actually sign up for, right? So there's a great opportunity for them here to meet leaders of all the stacks, because, all the technical leads and the BD leads would be there, including, a couple of co-founders and CEOs of some of these protocols, plus these sessions which are focused around particular specific stacks and, how they would benefit specific verticals. So I think, people who attend this it's a great opportunity for them to, hear directly from the horse's mouth in terms of what the USP of their respective stacks are. That's number one. Number two, there's a great opportunity for them to meet other customers, right, who are already using a particular stack. Because many of our customers, out of our entire list of customers, at least 60 to 70% of them will be at ETH Denver. And they'll all be there at the Rollup Day. So the beauty is that when you only have 150 people attending, it's not like you're lost in a crowd, right? So you're actually able to tell someone, hey, why did you go and meet so-and-so? And you can actually point them in that direction because it's a small, cozy group, right? So people see tremendous value because they're able to meet the right kind of people, who can give them some input. So you have the protocol leadership available. Then you also have customers with specific use cases using a particular stack. It could be an L1 stack or a CDK, Polygon CDK stack or a ZK Sync stack. So you can actually go and, sit with them, chat with them, understand, what are some benefits that they've seen and so on and so forth. So the idea is to have a very cozy group, where people can actually connect, can actually network, rather than be in a room with about 15,000 plus people and you're sort of lost. Right? So that's really the intent. So I think there's huge value for people who are wanting, a cozy networking opportunity as well as sort of a learning opportunity.
That sounds great. I said earlier in the show, that's one of the things I found so powerful about Zeeve is you have such a broad reach in this space. And, I've been following your spaces for a couple of years now, just, listening to some of your customers and clients and the information you guys share. I could just imagine the value and the power of being in that space, in an intimate space like that, like you said, to be part of those discussions, not just listening in. So that sounds like a great opportunity. Articulate, did you want to jump in?
Yes, thank you, Chris, and great information provided so far. Sounds like a very powerful event shaping up for ETH Denver, the Appchain Rollup and Appchain Day. And I just wanted to ask you, Thomas, real quick. I was just thinking, what kind of projects or teams should attend the Rollup and Appchain Day, and how can they benefit from the discussion, gathering, or networking there?
Yeah, I think I would encourage all Web3 startups, Web3 native companies who've been debating that, hey, we would like to set up a custom chain, right? And there are many of them who are looking to set up a custom chain. They're evaluating between optimistic rollups, ZK rollups, L1 chains. It's often fairly confusing for them, right? Because there's so much of information out there. So I think, we will also have, and have an advisory desk. So, some of our senior leadership will be there. So I think there's a great opportunity for them to have these one-on-one conversations. So you may be a gaming chain or a DeFi chain or wanting to set up a payment chain. And then, but you would like to connect with somebody who has done something similar, right? To really get their feedback. So I think, and at the same time, you also want, someone to be able to spend quality time with you and to be able to guide you. Because at most of these events, when you go, I mean, it's, you're just, connecting, exchanging Telegram IDs, and then you move on to the next person because you want to network as much as you can. What we're encouraging you here is to slow down, right? You don't rush into this networking. We will tell you who you should meet, right? So we will curate your movement at the event, right? And so you come, you tell us, hey, look, this is what my challenge is. Who can I meet? And I will say, hey, you should meet so and so, and I will do the connection in person. So that person, then they could have a fairly intimate conversation. So I think it's about having intimate conversations, which can add value to you and which can help you in that decision-making process about what stack you should be taking, and what kind of benefits, other customers have actually got from opting for those stacks.
Wow, thank you. And that sounds, what I like about that scenario is that, for, people going there, and especially projects or teams, you have an idea of something you want to do, they're more likely going to be a team or a person in the room that meets or fits that criteria. And, as you said, you're curating that experience. So you wouldn't need to go meet or search or dig through everybody to find that. You'll just need to identify what your, needs are. And it's pretty much, curated, and you get to have a more, quality networking experience. And I think that goes a long way because you can actually start something. You could actually start your idea right there by being at the event.
Yeah.
Another question I had was, what do you think make the Rollup and Appchain Day a must-attend event at ETH Denver, and how can the communities get involved?
Yeah, I think, Steve, we are very focused in what we do. It's a niche event. For example, a lot of people have come to us and said, we would like to be a sponsor, but this is the topic that we have. We've said thank you very much. We're not looking for sponsors. We want people who can add value to chains looking to set up rollups or BL1s, right? So that's our focus. So it's a niche event, highly focused, and all the the panels, the chats, and so on and so forth are going to be focused around that. So the idea is that, so the message really is that, look, if you're evaluating or wanting to evaluate a custom chain, and this is certainly something hugely valuable to you, because you will not get it at any other event at ETH Denver. I can guarantee you that. I've been at ETH, and I was there last year. I've attended so many events in the US and in Asia over the last 18 months, and I can tell you at most of these events and side events, you're lost, right? So it's going to be a great personal experience, and therefore this is a must attend for anyone who has a custom chain in mind.
Thank you, Thomas. One last question here. Do you have a message or an invitation for folks attending ETH Denver, and why is Rollup and Appchain Day a must-attend event during ETH Denver this year especially?
Yeah, because we're making there are a couple of reasons. One big reason is that Zeeve is going to be launching close to 10 mainnets in February, right, across stacks. This is like a world record, right? I don't think any other service, any other rollup as a service or an Appchain as a service provider has ever launched 10 mainnets in a single month, right? So that's a huge achievement. So by ETH Denver, we can actually proudly say that in the last 30 to 45 days, we have actually set up 10 mainnets across different stacks. So, and all these customers, majority of them will be at ETH Denver. So they will all be not just test nets, but they will actually be mainnets. That's number one. The other very exciting thing is that we have a special offer for everybody wanting to set up an Avalanche L1. And the offer is that at $50, at $50 per month, you can set up a testnet. Zeeve will set up a testnet for you. And at $995 per month, we will set up a mainnet for you on Avalanche L1. Okay, now this is an absolutely, this is a no-brainer, for anyone wanting to set up a chain, even if you haven't raised capital, right? I'm sure you could spend $50 a month, right? I mean, you go for a meal by yourself in the US, anywhere to any restaurant in Denver, you'll spend more than $50, right? So for $50 a month, you can set up a testnet, and for $995 a month, you can set up a mainnet on Avalanche L1. And that's an announcement that we have made, and we're going to be, talking from the rooftops at Denver, because we believe that a lot of people who have been on the edge and saying that it's too expensive for us to set up a chain will say, hey, this is a no-brainer now. Let's just dive in and sort of make it happen.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Is there anything else that we probably didn't touch on yet that you'd want to highlight for this particular space?
Yeah, I think so. I think the other point that I want to make is that 2025 is going to be a defining year for rollups and app chains. And the reason for that is that towards the end of last year, the ZK chains went mainnet, right? So far, ZK chains, you could never do a mainnet on ZK chains, which is mostly Polygon CDK and ZK Sync at this point in time. So they are mainnet ready. So a lot of projects who were wanting to do a ZK chain can now set up a mainnet. So 2025 is, we're going to see a lot of ZK chains, right? Arbitrum and the optimistic chains were always around. But the big kicker is going to be when the Avalanche L1 is going to help people who said, I don't have a budget, but I'd like to set up my own chain, who earlier were chasing grants. Now they don't need a grant because they can just open their wallet and they could pay $50 a month and they could get on and they could set up a chain. So I think we're going to expand the market dramatically in 2025. So it's going to be a defining year for companies like Zeeve, as well as for all the rollup stacks and the Appchain stacks, because the market is really going to explode in 2025.
Thank you, Thomas. Chris?
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm looking at, like I mentioned before, Core Community DAO uses Zeeve infrastructure for the validator that we operate on the Corium network. I'm not technically inclined at all, and I can tell you, like Zeeve, when they say a one-click solution, it's pretty much that, and very impressive. And so, would I understand, creating an Avalanche L1 testnet? Would it be similar processes to firing up a validator, or just kind of a click experience? And even though I'm not technically inclined, I'm effectively operating a Avalanche testnet with you guys' support.
Yeah, it's a one-click, fully automated process, right? So, and it's been through a stress test by the Avalanche tech team. It's not that I'm saying it, but it's been stress tested by the Avalanche test team. And, so that's the way. So it's going to be fully automated. One click, you set up a testnet and you're live, right? Full infrastructure provided by Zeeve.
Well, that's amazing. Like, you have a person, I have the benefit of speaking to a lot of bright people in this space, hosting these podcasts, and it creates a million ideas in my head. So this is basically saying, this is running a blockchain has obviously been well outside my wheelhouse, nothing I've really contemplated or considering. But like you said, for the cost of a night out on the town, I could have a testnet blockchain that I can just play with and learn from, and build from there, see if you can turn it into something without much risk or expense. That's absolutely amazing. Do you see this kind of like launching a token's become very, very easy and automated. So you see the meme token craze, and, there's millions of tokens now. Or when I got in this space, 8-9 years ago, there was just a handful of tokens in this space. Do you kind of see this the same with Appchain, this kind of, exploding because of its ease to launch?
No, I think so. I think, and what we are talking about, Chris, is not something just for you to play around with. It's a public testnet, which means that people can come and build on it, right? So it's a complete, it's a complete infrastructure. It's not like it's a multi-machine infrastructure that we provide at $50. So, the market's going to explode. But this is real stuff, right? It's not just a bubble of a meme coin or whatever it is, right? This is going to be solid stuff. And we're going to be tracking, and we're telling people that, look, you should do some minimum transactions on your testnet as well, because we're only interested in serious projects. We're not interested in anyone just coming for the sake of it, right? I mean, you can come and experience it, but our interest would be to drive serious usage and to make sure that these projects are able to go to mainnet, right? So our goal is not just to set up 500 testnets, but to make sure that all of them go to mainnet as well. So we're going to be working very closely with anyone who comes and sets up a testnet. Going to be having deep dive discussions with them, and then figuring out how they can actually take it to the next level.
Oh, amazing! That's great value, and I can speak from experience working with Zeeve and the team there. They're absolutely amazing, and their support if needed. I've never had any concerns, issues that weren't resolved within minutes. So, and there's been few. It's been a great experience. It's been a couple years now that I've worked with Zeeve, and it's a great team, and it's amazing to see the growth in that time. You guys are really hitting it out of the park in the Web3 space. It's been exciting to watch Zeeve and your team really expand in this space.
Yeah, absolutely. And we expect to expand further in 2025. We are looking to hire business development talent in Europe and US in 2025. So that's something also pretty much on the cards as part of our overall expansion plan. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, I guess that's all I had. If there's anything else that you wanted to add, please do. Maybe just as a reminder for those that have maybe joined a little late, just give a reminder when the event is and how to get involved, and appreciate it.
Yeah, so absolutely. So we have a website called the rollupday.com. You can go to the rollupday.com and, you get the Luma link over there. You can register for it. It's a one-click, registration for the event. The event is going to be on the 28th of February at ETH Denver at the Hilton City Center, and it's going to start at 11 a.m. with some amazing lunch and networking opportunity for everybody, and some C-suite keynote speakers and great panel discussions, and lots of networking in between and at the end. We believe it's a must attend for anyone looking to set up a custom chain or understand more about custom chains, rollups, app chains. It is definitely a must attend.
Awesome. Well, it was great to catch up with you again, Thomas. You're welcome here anytime. Just reach out. It's always great to catch up with what you and Zeeve are up to. As I said at the beginning, you guys are an absolute powerhouse out there, ahead of the curve, always the way I've seen it, and you certainly help me as a content creator and keep up with things, because time is limited. So when you have good sources of information and products, it's important to keep track of that. So appreciate you for coming by and sharing with us again. And
Right.
I look forward to, I'm trying to find my way there. It's tough scheduling wise, but I'm still about that 10 to 20% chance I might get out there for ETH Denver, hoping to, but if not, it was great to see you again. Articulate, is there anything you want to add before we close out today?
No, that's it. I think today's call was pretty informative, and looking forward to just the response of teams. I think this is a golden opportunity. The fact that they even curate the experience, so you have a better impact by making your way there. I think that's a huge plus. The teams themselves are going to be there, so. That's all you could ask pretty much from an event like this. So shout out to Zeeve and all they're doing, and we're here to support you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Excellent. Didn't see any requests for questions, so with that, we'll just wind her down. Thomas, make sure you give him a follow if you have to do any follow-up questions on the event, or go to the sites as mentioned. I think the links are up top in the bubble there. And thank you for joining us here today outside of our normal time slot. I really appreciate you, those that do. Many people listen to this show on the replay, so either way, if you're here live or on the replay, please like and share. Thomas and Zeeve have come here today. They provided a lot of value, and the product that they're talking about here today, I think, is going to be very well received, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. So again, stay ahead of the curve. Check these guys out. And if you're interested in running a validator in the Corium ecosystem and interested in what Zeeve does, you can certainly reach out to me and Corium Community DAO. I've got lots of experience with these guys, and I work with a lot of products in this space, and I can tell you support is second to none with these guys, and that's really lacking in a lot of projects that you get involved with in Web3, or tools that you get involved with is the support. A lot of times it's just an email or a text bot that you're dealing with. Not these guys are there 24/7. Great team. It's been a great experience, and just pleased to have you guys back on the show today. So with that, we'll wrap things up. As mentioned, I will do a live stream tonight on omniflix.tv, X, YouTube. I'll do a quick recap of what we talked about here today, and dive into validators on the Corium network, kind of what Zeeve specializes in the past, and now they're expanding into much bigger things here too. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Please like, share, and leave a comment of what we left you for some value here today. I appreciate it, and we'll see you again next time. Peace and prosperity to you all.